Hi y'all, welcome to the Craft Table Podcast. My name is Tori. If you want to see anything I'm working on, I do occasionally post on Instagram or the Making app at the Craft Table Podcast. If you want to shoot me an email, that is thecrafttablepodcast@gmail.com. This will probably be a shorter episode. I haven't really done a whole lot. You might be hearing it in the background, but my dog came back from surgery last week, so this is the first full week actually today that she's home, and she's in the corner right over here, so I'm within like a few steps of her and she's having dinner, so you might hear a little bit of crunching or water slurping. I apologize. It's probably going to be that way for the next several weeks, but I'm not going to change that just because I've got her settled and I'm not moving her. With that being said, I haven't really worked a whole lot on stuff. My time has really been focused on caring for Maggie and making sure everything goes well. It's been a bit of a circus here as an individual single person trying to care for a 65-pound animal when you're chronically ill and disabled. And the only one around. So it's been interesting. But I'll probably talk a little bit more about that later in the episode, but I did do some working on things, not a whole lot, but I will share first my spinning, because I actually have been spinning a little bit, or I'd say more than a little bit. I got 4 ounces done in like no time. It is Tour de Fleece, which this is July 2022. July is the month of Tour de Fleece. It follows along Tour de France, and it has like there's rest days when Tour de France has rest days, and there's it follows, I believe, the same themes, or not expectations, but things that those bikers have to do. Like, every day has some sort of theme that relates to Tour de France, but you are spinning on your spinning wheel or your spindle or whatever you have. Oh, there's a little bean right there. And I had mistakenly thought it was starting in June. It actually started July 1st. People do big teams or groups and compete. I don't do that. I haven't done that. My first year of participating was last year. I chose not to join a team because I had only had my wheel for like a week at that point, and less than a week most likely, I think just a couple days, and I wasn't like really part of the community or anything like that, and I wasn't wanting to join in a community just yet. So that's kind of where I was at that point, and I am right now. Like, there's just too much to go on where I would enjoy or even really be able to participate in a team. So I'm doing it by myself. I'm not following any rules. I'm not doing any of the rest days. My goal is to just spin for at least a half hour a day. If I don't make it, it's okay. If it doesn't happen, it's okay. There's just a lot going on in my life, and it just isn't feasible. So that's just what I've decided to do, and I've actually spun every day of this month so far. It's only the 6th. Not that impressive, but I've spun every day for at least 15 minutes. I have been listening to EXU Calamity, which is a podcast produced by Critical Role for a D&D game campaign, like a mini campaign. I've been turning that on while I've been spinning. Really interesting. It's just been really great. But I was able to finish a full 4-ounce bobbin of the Verna colorway. So you can kind of see all the colors in one go here. It's the Verna colorway BFL silk from Nest Fiber. It is a Fiber Club monthly club colorway that was March of this year, that I purchased prior to participating in the monthly, before paying for the monthly membership. I started in April, but because she had some extra like braids, I went ahead and bought this one and a coordinating color. It's kind of hard to see, but there is like a pale pink in there too under this green. But these are the main colors. It is 4 ounces. I did a lace weight to fingering weight. I'm hoping to get fingering to sport weight 2-ply. But this was, I went ahead and finished this bad boy off and promptly started the second half of this ply. So this is the one part. I'm so sorry, my brain is blanking so hard. This is the one part, and I'm going to show you the second half that I'm going to be plying this with. I'm doing a combo spin, and this braid, I have half of a braid here. It's kind of hard to tell in this lighting, but it is a pale pink, and it is the same fiber content, BFL silk. It's a semi-solid of one of the colors in that Verna colorway. This one does not have a name. She doesn't name her semi-solids that can coordinate with the monthly colorway. So this is just the other half of a braid that I'm working on. I went ahead and, let's see, I split it widthwise in half, and then I took apart each section, so like you can kind of tell that there's pieces in this lengthwise, and so I just stripped it down to those easily, where it split easily. I just split it down that section and then split it down even further once I had a couple strips, and then kept splitting it, and then I pre-drafted so that I could get as thin as possible of a single. I normally do that with most braids that I purchase that are already like carded up and dyed, and it works best for me. I'm able to get the most consistent spin possible out of that. So I am just shy of halfway through that braid. It is also 4 ounces, so I will have 8 ounces at the end of this. So about 2 skeins worth of fingering to sport weight. That's the goal, at least. I don't know how it'll look or how much it will grow after washing. Sometimes certain fiber contents tend to puff up more than others after washing. So we'll see how that goes. But that is the goal. I'm already pretty far. I haven't spun any today. I will in a little bit. But that's what's on my wheel right now. I'm looking at my wheel because it's right next to the tripod. But it's been going well. Very nice on the hands. Lots of floof all over my pants when I'm spinning, but it's okay. I'm not losing really a whole lot, if any, when I am spinning. I'm that experienced enough to where I can use all of a skein and not have a lot of waste, I guess you could say. So that's just kind of where I'm at. I'm hoping to have this done by the middle of the month, just because I'm spinning pretty quickly. I don't think it'll take me too long. I'm pretty certain I can get started applying at least by the end of this month. And then the goal for that is to become a cowl. So I have plans for this. It's already like, I'm already there. I'm already thinking about it. It already has a purpose. So I'm looking forward to it. It's been a really great spin. I really needed to get back into spinning anyways. So it's been a really nice, just kind of like reintroduction to my wheel after not using it for so long. And when I say not using it for so long, not that long ago I was using it, but like I was only using it to try and speed through spinning for the Kingston Cardi and not actually spending mindful time at the wheel. And that's when I get the most out of spinning is when I'm mindfully spinning and I don't have to rush through it, and I'm not worried about prepping anything or carding anything, and it's just smooth sailing. Very calming, very relaxing, and I can just put a podcast on and it's great. So that's what I've been spinning on. I did do a little bit of knitting, not too much. Any kind of crafting has purely been spinning, really. I've just been very focused on keeping Maggie under wraps, and so I've really only been knitting in the last couple of days. I'm going to share it. I don't know if it'll really matter too much, or really you won't see a difference. Oh, I think I'm losing stitches. Yes, I am. Let me just make sure. Sorry. Make sure I'm not losing any stitches. But yeah, and it's not really much, and I talked a lot about it last time. You're not gonna be able to see it because it's starting to get dark and it's cloudy out today. But this is the Beetle Magic Sweater by Katie Green. Let's get a little bit closer. You can kind of see it. But I'm working on the yoke right now. I know that I mentioned a little bit last week that I just am not sure how far I need to go before splitting for sleeves, but I'm erring on the side of doing a deeper yoke just to make sure that it sits where it needs to on the tiny person it's going to. And she's not even that big yet, so like I'm really just guesstimating. I don't have a little one of my own, and I don't really have experience in knitting for small people, so this is a little bit of a first. I think I've only really done little socks and a little beanie, so that's about all I've knit for, and those come with very distinct like measurements and how far you need to knit and things like that, whereas this is still very much gives you parameters, but it also leaves some wiggle room so that you can really make it customizable to your body and to anybody else's body and the fit. And that's just kind of where I'm at right now. We'll see how it goes. I am probably, it's kind of bunched up, as you can see, pretty bunched up. So I'm probably gonna switch it to a larger cable just to see where I'm at and see where maybe I could start splitting for the sleeve. I've only put a couple rows on, not too much. Between watching Maggie and just trying to not exhaust myself, not a lot has happened. I don't know when I'll start splitting for the sleeves, but this is a small person sweater. It is literally the smallest size provided on the pattern, and it's on teeny tiny needles. It's on US 3 needles, so smaller than the typically size US size 4 with fingering weight that I knit with. So it's a little bit smaller, but it is a super small sweater, so it should be going quickly once I split for the sleeves. The yoke itself, the colorwork yoke, went very quickly as well. So I'm not expecting too much of difficulty. So that'll be my only really knitting. I have a sock that I shared last week, but I've done no knitting on that. And my other hand spun sweater that's purely hand spun all the way, I've done nothing on that, and I probably won't work on that anytime soon. It's kind of in the corner on the couch, and it'll stay there for who knows how long until I can not be like right next to Maggie for a little while. So this is just what I'm working on. Throw a few stitches on during a meeting or two, and at night if I'm not mindlessly playing on my phone and just sitting with Maggie. That's all I got to share. I'm not doing any English paper piecing just yet. I am spinning, as you can see. I am knitting a little bit. I haven't started weaving yet. I do want to try and do that this fall. And speaking of fall, I am not doing any of the festivals. I'm hoping to go to the New Jersey Sheep and Wool in September, but it's doubtful. We'll see. I'm gonna see how well Maggie's doing before I decide to do that or not. It's closer to home and it wouldn't be an all-day trip. It's just a couple hours away, so it's not even a couple. It's like an hour and a half away. It's a really cute area. I love it. If you're in the area, I highly recommend it. So yeah, I'm not really doing anything or planning for anything, and I say that because I know that most people are starting their Rhinebeck sweaters right now. I am not going to Rhinebeck, and I most likely will not do a Rhinebeck sweater, so my knitting plans are pretty limited right now. I'm just gonna try and work on this bad boy, and I will work on socks as I go. So those are my 2 small projects. It suits my needs right now. The fact that I'm even crafting right now is a good thing. Very good. Life has been a little rough, putting it kindly. Maggie made it through her surgery. I think last week I podcasted after knowing that she'd made it through the surgery, picked her up the next day. She's been home for 6 days now. It's been very interesting and very difficult. It was a holiday this past weekend, so I was able to stay home with her for that first little bit. It's gonna take some time. It's rough business. I do not recommend. I love Maggie to death, but if you're not prepared for something like this, or you're not wanting to do something like this, would not recommend. 0 out of 10. Definitely don't get a big dog, because it is expensive and it is hard. So I'm just kind of, oh, there's the sunshine out of the clouds. But it's been rough. It's been rough. She's kept in a little baby gate pen in the corner next to the mattress I'm using to sleep on until we can move back upstairs and near my desk. So I'm within range of her at all times during the day. She has some serious meds that she needs to take. She has seen through my tricks of putting them in pill pockets, which if you don't have a dog or an animal, it's basically a treat with a little hollow out in the center that you put a pill in, and then you just kind of mold it around the pill so that they are tricked into eating the pill. The medicine must taste bad, because she pretty quickly figured out within a couple days that's not what she wanted, and that, oh, there's a meal, little meal, that it was not her jam. I tried putting it in cheese. Within a day she knew, hey, cheese is not good either. So she's flat out refused pill pockets and cheese altogether. That's been a little rough, so now I'm just throwing it down her throat and massaging her throat till she swallows. And that little stinker will hold on to that pill, and when I think she's swallowed, she'll spit it out. So it's been really, really interesting in that it's frustrating. I also had a really bad scare with Bean. She overdosed on Maggie's medication because she gets pill pockets as well for her Zyrtec, and she got greedy, saw a pill pocket, devoured it. Was in the emergency room within 2 hours of that happening and was not sure if she would make it. So I was in the emergency room on a holiday weekend, just hoping she would make it. Took her home, and it was 48 hours of close inspection, while also trying to maintain a recently operated on dog. Do not recommend. Not fun. Clearly you saw Bean, so you know she's okay, but it has been a rough couple of days. and I'm exhausted. So crafting has been minimal, but happening. That's basically all that's going on in my life right now, outside of other like things that I'm not gonna talk about here or share. But yeah, it's been stressful and will probably be stressful for the next month and a half, 2 months. We'll see how it goes. So my crafting may be minimal for the next several podcast episodes, but I will share what I have. And just, if you care about Maggie, I'll definitely be talking about Maggie and her updates. She has an appointment next week for her first post-op checkup, and hopefully we will be doing well by then, or at least on the path of mending. Just keep your fingers crossed for me, please. Other than that, don't have anything else to share. I hope you guys have a really good week and have a really good weekend. We are now in summer, and I know quite a few people have some really great summer plans, and if you're near a shore, I know people are going to beaches, things like that. So I hope you get to have some kind of outdoor time and you get to enjoy yourself if you're on break or not. And I will see you next week. Bye.